Hey guys, it's Victoria's Dream. I wanted to reach out to you guys and just say, hey, thank you so much for tuning in to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel so you can be the first to know when I post new pick-a cards for you all, when I post new videos as far as for the transits that happen during the month. I'll be covering a lot of transits and doing a lot of pick-a cards for you guys as well. So this is going to be a love pick a card. So for those of you that have a question for spirit about your love life, this is the pick a card for you. All right. So, if you have questions about where this relationship is going to go, or you just want a general, reading as far as guidance on your love life, especially if you're in a connection. This is really more for people who are already in a connection with somebody. It doesn't have to be committed, but somebody that you have interest in, that you've been involved with in some type of way. All right, so this isn't for people that necessarily have a crush on somebody and you've never been with that person. This is a pick a card for people who are in a connection and want some clarity, some guidance on your connection. All right, so if you want a personal individual reading from me, if you have a specific question and you want more specific guidance from spirit, I would urge you to reach out to me either through my email, through DMs, or you can purchase a reading from me via my store, where I can give you a more detailed guided reading, and give you some really specific details about your specific connection. Also, remember that this is a general reading. All right, so I'm gonna give you some crystals to pick from. Make sure you pick the one that resonates with you. But also remember that, there are tons and tons of people that'll be watching the reading. So if every detail doesn't resonate with you, it might be for someone else. So make sure that you do check in with your intuition, check in with your own spirit to make sure that you are listening to the guidance that resonates with you. And if it doesn't apply, just let it fly. All right. So, guys, I'm going to be posting my Aries season or my April readings for you guys in about a week or so. So make sure that you do stay tuned. That's why I want you guys to subscribe to the channel so that you can be the first to know for when that's posted. Also, if you're interested in following me on Instagram for lots of different pointers that I give you guys as far as not just astrology, but also tarot, spirituality, and other esoteric knowledge, make sure that you're following me on Instagram at Victoria's_dream. The handle is below, as well as on Twitter. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna play some music for you guys to kind of give you some more music to relax to. Okay, so I want to make sure that you pick the pile that resonates with you. So pile 1 is going to be the clear quartz crystal. Pile 2 is going to be the rose quartz rune. Okay, I'm going to bring that a little bit closer to the camera so you can see it. And pile 3 is going to be the amethyst cluster. Okay, I'm going to pull them up for you guys again. So pile 1 is the rose quartz rune. Pile 2 is pile 1 is the clear quartz crystal. Pile 2 is the rose quartz rune. And pile 3 is the amethyst cluster. Okay, so let's get started. So for my pile 1 people, those that chose the clear quartz crystal. So clear quartz is really good for purifying your energy. Okay, some of you may have just removed yourself from, or you might be in a toxic relationship or a relationship with toxic elements to it. Okay, and not all, if you're in a toxic situation here, not all toxic situations are irreparable, okay? So some of you may have, childhood trauma that you need to clear. I feel like for my pile ones, 1 is a number that definitely has to do with self, okay? So those of you that pick pile 1, you may need to focus on your individuality, on, standing your ground, on being determined, on being driven in your own goals. And for a lot of you, you may need to clear your energy. There may be things, especially with, just having the Virgo moon just having passed. This is a timeless reading, but we are, this is March, so we just got finished leaving the energy of the Virgo full moon. So the Virgo energy is the energy of purification. It's an energy of release. So a lot of you may have toxic patterns or toxic trauma that you need to release, okay? Or just you might need to do some purifying rituals. You might even benefit from a salt bath or something to take away any lingering negativity, any lingering worry, anything that's holding you back, okay? So let's get started with your reading. I'm excited for you guys because I think that for a lot of you, you are entering into a new chapter in your life, all right? Okay, for those of you who picked the amethyst cluster, all right, amethyst has to do with clear thinking, abundance, and communication. So I feel like this is my communicator pile. You guys might be performers, you might be public speakers, but this is probably my more extroverted pile out of the 3. I feel like you guys really have a way of being able to get your ideas across. You may be thinkers, all right, but you guys are definitely great speakers. You guys are very clear about what it is that you feel, what it is that you think here. All right. So you may be dealing with a water sign, and you may actually have a lack of water in your chart. So you could be the type of person who's more logical or who's more rational, all right, who's more intellectual. And your partner, on the other hand, could actually be a more emotional, intuitive, psychically inclined person with this Ace of Cups here next to the Queen of Cups in reverse. So I feel like a lot of you actually may feel very disconnected from your divine feminine energy. You could feel very disconnected from your feminine energy, all right? And I feel like for a lot of you, you want this relationship, but sometimes you do get tempted to run, all right? You get tempted to detach yourself. And for a lot of you, again, we're back to this issue of you feeling like you're not as in touch with your feminine energy here, because the Emperor card is here in the upright. So there's an energy of feeling like you need to be in control of my way or the highway, of being very strong-willed. You may be an Aries, a fire sign here, or an air sign. And there's a lot of clashing here because you guys are so different in nature, okay? The person that you're with may be very passive. If you are, with a masculine person, or, if you are an assertive person, a very assertive person here, you may fight a lot with your partner because you don't feel like they're as assertive enough. You don't feel like they stand their ground enough, especially in social situations. All right. For others of you, it's as if you expected this person to be more assertive, or you expected them to agree with you on a lot of things, and you kind of stand your ground here. I really feel like for a lot of you, you are represented by this Emperor card, and the Emperor card is represented by Mikhail. Like unto God, political authority gives safe travel and protects against conspiracies. So some of you may either be going through a very rough time at work. There may be a lot of drama in the workplace, which is bringing the drama back home, okay? Or for a lot of you as well, you may have a job where you have a lot of responsibilities, or where you're in a place of power, So with the Nine of Swords card here and the Page of Swords, I see a lot of anxiety within the household. A lot of you guys might live together. I feel like a lot of you need to sage your space. So you may need to cleanse your house. You may need to sage your living space. And what does that do? It drives out any anxiety, any negativity, any evil energies that may be in the house, all right, that may be making things tense. And if any of you suffer from anxiety, it's going to help things feel more relaxed, all right, because it does help ease anxiety as well. So with the Knight of Pentacles, you know, there's a lot of action going on here. You guys may be thinking about moving. There may be an issue with finances as well for some of you guys. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's like, you know, there may be an issue with feeling grounded. So some of you need to take some time to ground yourself, and your partner may need to do this as well. You go out into the park, go out into a natural space, take your shoes off, especially because for those of us, at least, you know, in the northern hemisphere, it is going towards spring, towards the warmer seasons. And just connect with the earth, ground yourself. If you cannot do that for whatever reason, take your shoes off in the house, take some deep breaths, especially when you get upset, when things aren't going your way, and ground yourself. All right, it's going to help you to be able to have a clear mind when you communicate with your partner and when you have to make decisions. All right, especially when you're feeling emotional. For some of you, especially with the Emperor card here, you could have a very hot head, okay? You could be the type of person that gets very upset when they are not getting the results they want, because you guys, for a lot of you, are a very goal-oriented person. But what's needed, especially if there is a lot of conflict in this connection, is you guys need to be able to think clearly. And this goes back to the amethyst cluster here. All right, you need to be able to think clearly, to communicate clearly and rationally without getting carried away by your emotions, okay? A lot of you, you're such go-getters that when you can't get what you want, you either kind of throw a tantrum or you get very, very upset, okay? Because you feel frustrated, all right? You feel as if you're getting nowhere, and that makes you feel as if you failed. But the universe is saying you need to be very patient, because with the Knight of Pentacles here in the reverse, patience is what is lacking in this connection, all right? You guys do have a lot of potential. You're either in a long-term relationship, or you know, have hopes for this to be a serious connection, to be long-term. And with this Justice card in the upright, things are going to go your way, all right? So either by Libra season, or this is a major arcana card as well. So, you know, you guys are learning how to be fair to each other, and this is a huge step in, you know, learning how to deal with each other in this connection and in your growth as a couple, all right? So the Justice card is represented in this archangel, in this angel deck by the angel Khalil, which represents justice, makes truth known in court, causes innocence to prevail. All right, so some of you may be going through a court case. All right, you may be going through some sort of conflict with someone outside of the relationship. Maybe this has to do with, you know, a previous relationship. You could be having some baby mama issues for some of you, okay? That could be causing some problems within your connection. For others of you, you know, if there's nothing like that going on, no outside conflict, then just know that you guys both want what's best for each other, and that this is just a stage in your relationship right now, and it will pass, okay? Those negativities, these conflicts, these troubles, these growing pains that you're going through are just simply a hurdle for you to overcome, so that you guys can get to a place in your relationship where you understand each other on a deeper level. And then when you have different hard times like this, you're going to think about when you were at this point in your relationship and how it was hard, but you got over it. and you're going to reference that, and then going forward, those differences that you have are not going to be so hard to handle. All right. So with the Page of Pentacles here in the reverse, and the Two of Wands here, you guys both, desperately want to solve the issues that you're having in this relationship. But truth be told, the reason why this is so difficult is because whatever you're going through, it's threatening both of your senses of security, okay? Some of you might live in a very dangerous area as well, and you may need to move, all right? With all those wolves howling in the background and the music there. You guys may have some issues with security because of the area that you live in. All right, so for those of you who are looking at, or thinking about moving, you may want to think about a different place to move. Okay, one of you may be a Sagittarius. You guys may need to, if you live in a city, you may need to live outside of the city. Okay, you may need to live in a more rural area. If you've been given a job offer or an opportunity to move, okay, now's the time that you might want to take that. If your spouse, especially if you have a very intuitive spouse and they're urging you to move to a less dangerous area, a rural area out in nature, they're gonna be more at peace out there, and therefore you will be more at peace. Okay, so that's you. That's a sign, all right, for you. All right, so your next card here is the Seven of Pentacles, and it's represented by the angel Nehemiah. Discernment, okay? Discernment, general prosperity, and the deliverance of prisoners. So again, some of you might feel very trapped, all right? And I feel like for a lot of you, this may have to do with, either financial constraints, which as you are patient, as you work through this, the Seven of Pentacles is all about patience and endurance, okay? Working through difficulties, working through hardships, and also, that work that you have to do when you're working on a project, when you're working on something that you want to see develop, and you're in those middle stages, all right? You're not quite at the place where you see a lot of growth, but you're not quite at the place where you're just starting. You're in the middle, okay? You haven't quite climbed that hill, okay? You haven't quite jumped over that hurdle. And when you're in the middle of a project like that, it can seem like it's never going to end. And it can also seem as though you haven't made enough progress, and you'll also never finish. So you guys might be feeling very frustrated right now because you're in the thick of it, all right? It's like Wednesday in the work week, all right? You're in the middle of it. And so what the universe really wants you to do is not only have patience, but just know that, not only in your personal life with your connection with your partner who you care about, who you love, but also if there's any issues at work, that as you push through, as you hash things out, talk about things with your partner, as you work through those difficulties in any other area of your life that may be adding tension, as you work through that, as you commit yourself to getting to the end, there's that saying, if you're going through hell, keep going, all right? So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And before you know it, as you get determined to get through these issues, to fight through it, to use that emperor, that alpha male, that masculine energy, whether you are male or female, or naturally masculine or feminine, my pile threes, you have a lot of boss energy, okay? You're used to calling the shots, okay? Especially with this amethyst here, you have a very clear idea, a very clear mind when it comes to what you want, and it's so easy for you to manifest it and make it happen. And as you become determined in that warrior energy, okay, some of you may be in Aries, and that Aries energy, that fiery energy, that go-getter energy to make it happen, you're going to push right through, okay? Even if it's tough, even if it takes a while. And after you get to the end, you're going to laugh, because you're going to realize how easy it's become for you to face those difficulties that seemed impossible before. All right. So your next card here is the Seven of Swords. And why is this here? I don't really feel like there's any infidelity in your relationships. I'm not seeing that for most of you. For some of you, that may be the case. If you feel like you've been questioning that, if you've been asking for a sign, and you're thinking that may be a case in the relationship, then this may be a sign for you. All right. But for most of you, what this represents here, all right, is discernment. So you need to be very discerning, especially when it comes to your money, especially if you have an outside conflict, about who you listen to. All right. Because you may be, especially if your partner is, has been warning you about certain people, saying not to trust them. This is a situation where you really do need to trust your partner's discernment, because they are looking out for you. So if you have any business deals you've been doing with people, if you have any people around you that you feel like might be shady, if there's activity around you that you feel like might be shady, then it more than likely is, especially if your partner has been trying to, kind of nudge you to watch out for certain people, not to trust certain people, maybe not to invest your money or trust your money or anything that you value, your children, with certain people. This is a sign, that you need to definitely trust their intuition, because it is pointing you along the right path. So your next card here is the Sun card. All right. So with the Sun card here, this is represented by the angel Michael. Okay. So then, and you know what, here I just said kids, and there's 3 little cherubs in this card. So some of you may have 3 children, some of you may be expecting soon. All right. So Michael, the vivifying God. All right. Restoration of life, protection from adversaries, rabies, and wild beasts. Okay. So with rabies and wild beasts, again, I think that for some of you, you may be dealing with like maybe some thieves around you. Maybe you live in a not so great area. You might need to move, okay? Because with the wild beasts, I'm feeling like for a lot of you, this could have to do with people around you that may be preying on you, that may be, putting you in a situation where you could be taken advantage of in some way. So if you have any issues with safety, if you have any concerns about your living area, it could be that you guys need to figure out a safety plan and secure your belongings, make sure that you're locking up your house in a very secure way, and even possibly think about relocating if that's something that you guys are worried about. Okay. Also, for the rest of you, if you have anything outside of your relationship that's challenging it, know that with the Sun card here, the sun is soon going to shine. Like I said before, there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel here. So whatever your struggle is, it is going to be over, and you're going to come out triumphant. Okay. So your next card here is 7 of Cups, God the just judge. Contemplation. Makes the truth known in legal proceedings. So again, there's just a lot about legal proceedings here in your pile. All right. So I don't know if a lot of you might be going through a court case. You could be going through like a custody or child support case. And I feel like for those of you, maybe somebody's asking for money that they don't deserve or don't need, or they're trying to extort you, or they're trying to, somehow get over on you. This could be a work situation. Just know that you are going to come out victorious in that. Make sure that you're documenting everything. Make sure that you are documenting all evidence here. And the Queen of Wands card just showed up. So things are going to go your way. All right. So again, if you don't have anything like that going on, just know that you're going to have lots of options as to what you need to do. For some of you, it could mean that you need to look for a new job if things aren't going well at your current place of work, and that you're going to have a lot of options. Okay. You're going to have people who see you as an asset, that wants to bring you on to their team. For others of you, all right, you got the Seven of Cups card next to the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. All right, so what that means for you is that some of you need to spend time in the bedroom with your partner. All right, you guys need to spend time giving your loved one some intimate attention. This is going to bring you guys together, and of course it's going to alleviate any tension in the relationship where there might be a lack of affection. Maybe you guys are stressed out from everything that's been going on. All right, for a lot of you also, this could be somebody you do end up settling down with, committing to, or even marrying here, because I do see here the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands together here. So this could also signify divine counterparts, and also your relationship after this moving to a higher level. So this conflict, even though it may seem like a bad thing, okay, sometimes some of the worst things in our life end up bringing us to some of the best places in our life. So it could bring you guys together as well. So the Queen of Wands is represented by Elamaya, the hidden god. All right, so again, hidden. If you guys are going through a lot of difficulties, if you're going through, you know, a lot of negative things right now, some struggles here, there's a hidden prize within this. All right, you guys may end up, you know, having a deeper connection physically because of this difficulty as well. Okay, you may start to see, especially if you are dealing with someone who is more of a feminine energy, or who is the feminine energy in the relationship, who's more intuitive, more nurturing. All right, you're going to see a deeper side of this person because of these difficulties. Somebody who's willing to endure with you, someone who cares about your feelings, about your needs, someone who's patient, who listens to you, all right, and someone who truly sees your worth. And it's going to make your connection even deeper. It's going to make you fall even deeper in love with this person. You're going to really see why this person is someone that you would want to spend the rest of your life with. With the King of Wands card here, this is represented by Daniel, God the merciful judge. All right, so again, because there's just so much in your pile about court cases, about justice. So if you're going through a court case or any type of struggle like that, you are going to receive a very compassionate judge. You're going to receive somebody who oversees a situation, who's able to empathize with you and the struggles you've gone through. All right, so you don't have to worry about somebody who's going to want to throw the book at you, somebody who's going to, you know, be unfair. Things are going to be very fair in the outcome of your circumstances. Now, for those of you who are dealing with a masculine energy, or may be a masculine energy, somebody who's a more assertive person in a relationship, maybe less emotional, a person who gets things done, who makes the plans, who makes the arrangements, who initiates things, all right? That is masculine energy. So the King of Wands is represented by Daniel, God the merciful judge. All right, this is calling you if you want to see you know, a change for the better in your connection. You need to be very compassionate, very empathetic, very patient with your partner here. Okay, make sure that you explain your feelings in detail to them, because when you shout or when you yell, that may not help them to understand how you really feel. Take time to, you know, lower your voice if you tend to get very loud when you're passionate about things, and instead put that passion into explaining your feelings, into explaining how you feel. All right, and also make sure that you explain to this person, that you reassure them as well. All right, that you explain to them what you like about them. All right, what you feel are doing right. Give them that reassurance, because your partner needs that. All right, because Daniel's also represented by eloquence and giving answers to those in doubt. All right, so your last card here, so the Six of Swords came out for you. So if you have been worried about this relationship not making it, just know that this relationship is going to be able to endure those issues. All right, the Six of Swords is represented by Emmanuel, the gentle God. So what you guys need to do is to be very gentle with each other, all right, in this connection. Handle each other with kid gloves, because you guys are probably going through a lot. They may be going through a lot at their workplace, or what's going on with them. They may be doing different creative projects. They could be an artist or doing an art project. They could be working on opening their own business or doing something creative, all right, that could be taking a lot of energy from them. And on your end, there could be things at work as well with you. You guys need to handle each other gently, all right? So perception of unity protects against accidents, heals the sick. Make sure that you take time to look out for your health, because I'm seeing that, with you guys going through the stress, whether it's just the connection that has a lot of tension, or whether there's stress because of outside influences as well, okay? It's going to take a toll on your health. So you don't want to get sick. You don't want to have to take time off of work. Make sure, another way that you can bond also is by taking care of your health, all right? Jog together, or make healthy, food together, cook together, things like that, all right? Get some vitamins, some supplements. It's going to help you to be able to think with a clear mind as well, to think things over with the right nutrients in your body. It helps you to make the right decisions, okay? So, also with the Six of Swords here, you may not have the money to move yet. So that could be a barrier to you guys being able to do what it is that you need to do right away. But I do see that the Tower came up at the bottom of the deck. So this is the overall energy here. So, there could be something very unexpected that's going to happen. Okay, if you're having issues with someone at work, that person could end up getting let go. Okay, for others of you, your partner may come up to you and decide to have a conversation with you out of the blue, okay? And when this happens, it's going to loosen up a lot of the stagnant energy, a lot of the stuck, tense energy, okay, in the house, in the relationship, in your life. And it's going to loosen things up so that things can move. And there may be a Tower moment with that. A Tower moment's not always bad. It's often unexpected, and it's a fated occurrence that leads us to our next stage in life. So it's going to push you forward to your next steps, okay, your next stage in life, your next chapter, so you can finally turn the page. So at some point within, while you're in the Seven of Pentacles, you're working, you're going through the tough times, you're doing the work you need to do, it feels like it's never going to end. All of a sudden there's going to be a breakthrough. All right, so this is represented by Uriel, the fire of God. So either one or both of you. I mean, we have like a lot of fire in this spread. So we have the King of Wands, we have the Queen of Wands, we have the fire of God. All right, so the Tower is not a fire card. It is a major arcana card. Okay, you guys also had a lot of major arcana in your spread. You have the Justice card, you have the Sun here. All right, so this is about you learning a lot of heavy lessons in life that are going to help you become the person that you will be in the next chapter of your life with all these major arcana cards. And when you become that person, you're going to be even more of a boss, okay? You're going to have, more wisdom, and you're going to be the type of person that when you see somebody maybe younger than you, or somebody who's less experienced, somebody who's going through what you went through, when you see them go through it, you're going to be able to then look at them and go, girl, you don't know what I've been through. I've been through exactly what you've been through. Or I see how, you're struggling. I see how you feel. And let me tell you how I got through it. Okay? So a lot of you are also going to become teachers. A lot of you are also going to become leaders, mentors that other people look up to. Okay? And that's why life is giving you such a hard time right now. That's why you're going through it, because you're going to be the type of person, some of you may even become a motivational speaker. All right, so you guys are going to be the type of person that shows people, that teaches them how to stand on all 10, all right, while they're in the struggle. Okay, so Uriel, okay, represented And the Tower card here, all right, it represents disruption, warns of disasters, aids in transformation, all right? So again, if you guys feel like, especially if you guys feel like you have valuables around you, okay, if you live in an area where there are a lot of break-ins, I would encourage you guys to get a safe, get some locks, get some coded locks, whatever it is that you need to do, okay, because you do need to secure those things, especially if you are in an area where you feel like people watch what you have, people watch what you do, they watch your ins and outs, you don't trust your surroundings, okay? If you live in a bad neighborhood, you can't leave quite yet, you need to secure yourself from having a negative tower moment of losses, okay, of your security being threatened, okay? Lock those valuables up, don't tell people how much you make, keep yourself safe and secure. All right, for others of you, with this card, all right, disruption, warns of disasters, aids in transformation. Again, this goes back to what's resonating the most for my pile 3s here is the transformation part, okay? Because after you come through this hurdle, you might even become a relationship counselor, or you and your spouse might help other couples who are going through things, okay? So this is not only going to transform your relationship, you could even you know, there could be a wedding in a year or so, okay, as you guys grow from this and get stronger because of this. But this relationship, the difficulties in it, it's also helping your own inner spiritual transformation so that you can be a bedrock, a strong, you know, person for others to go to. All right, because you guys are this emperor, you are this leader. That is naturally just who you are. You help pull other people up, all right? So the difficulties you're going through in this relationship are more so, okay, the reason why, the lesson that the universe has for you. It's really for you to transform. You're in a cocoon right now. You're going through the stages of a butterfly, okay? When you come out of that cocoon, as you blossom, as you bloom, you're going to become this beautiful new person. You may not even feel like the old person that you were before. A lot of you have, you know, weaknesses that you wish you could get rid of. You have different things that you want to, you know, be able to do in your life. And you're going to feel so motivated after these difficulties are over. After you get through it, you're going to feel so proud of yourself, okay? And you are a warrior. You're a warrior type energy, whether you're a fire placement, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, especially Aries. I feel like a lot of you have Aries energy, so you may either be an Aries moon, rising, sun, or you can have a lot of Aries degrees in your chart, okay? And you're going to be so proud of yourself that you've gotten through this. You're going to want to tell the world. You're going to want to write a book. You're going to want to help other people. You may even want to start a vlog or a blog or a YouTube channel, okay, for people as to how to get over relationship difficulties or difficulties in their life, okay? Some of you may be spell workers and you're going to do spells in order to help you to overcome, all right? And you're going to want to share that with other people, okay? But these are, you're my leader pile, you're my warrior pile, and I need you guys to stay motivated. I need you guys to stay determined because you're going to get through this. And when you do, you're going to be even more of a boss than what you already are. And you're already such a boss, okay? So, guys, if you like this video, please like the video, subscribe, okay? Share it to your page to some people that it could help. If you'd like a full reading by me, please visit my website, victoriasdreamshop.com. Also follow me on Twitter or Instagram if you aren't already, all right? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. I'm going to be putting a lot more pick cards on the page, as well as information on the transits going on throughout the year, as well as just, you know, different esoteric knowledge, spiritual knowledge, you know what I'm saying, astrological videos to help you guys figure out your natal charts if you're into astrology. Lots of big things coming, all right? So I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Okay, so my pile 2s. All right, so let's get started with you guys. You guys chose the rose quartz room. All right, so this is the crystal that you chose. Rose quartz has to do with self-love. All right. But I feel like for this pile, you know, you got this crystal. You chose and resonated with this crystal because you already, you know, are very focused on self-love. You are already you're a very driven, very strong person. And you're very focused on loving yourself, and, you know, maybe contrary to past decisions that you've made, you're now very focused on doing right by yourself. All right. And loving yourself and making loving decisions for you. Okay. So the first card that came out for you guys was the Tower. So for some of you, you know, something may have just happened in this relationship that revealed something about this person that you weren't previously aware of. For others of you, you may have you entered this relationship as like a shock, a surprise, you know, it may have been something that happened sort of as a whirlwind. So you weren't really prepared to get with this person, to commit to this person. All right. I feel like for a lot of you, you may have had like a negative suspicion about this individual, and it's come to light that you're like actually relieved because this person wasn't guilty of whatever it was that you thought that they were. All right. So with the Seven of Swords here in reverse and the Eight of Swords here in the reverse, some of you may have felt like as if that this person was cheating, or that they were doing something negative, or you felt, you know, it was something about this person's character that you were in question about. All right. For others of you, you may have just gotten out of a negative connection, all right, or a sense of feeling trapped. For some of my pile twos here, you may have left someone else for this person, okay? So with the Knight of Wands and the Six of Wands here, I see a little bit of a struggle, and you going back and forth over whether this connection is what you truly want. So you have the Knight of Wands here in the reverse, and the Six of Wands here in the reverse, okay? So you guys are my creatives, my emotional pile, and a lot of you may have, you know, you're my risk takers. So some of you may have made the decision to be in this relationship really, really quickly, all right, without fully getting to know this person, without really understanding who this person was. And with the Knight of Cups here, it's almost as if you made an emotional decision and you now regret it. So some of you here, you might have, you know, gotten with this person and you now regret doing it so quickly, because while you appreciate this person, you like them, maybe you like them as a friend, you may be questioning whether or not they're, you know, it was within your best judgment to commit to this person. Because I'm seeing with the Four of Wands here that there is a very unhappy home life. So maybe you guys, you know, you moved in really quickly together, but you don't feel content with where you are with this person. You don't feel like this person is relationship material or long-term commitment material. You guys live very differently, you know, from each other, and it's creating like a, you know, you may have great sexual or physical chemistry with this person. You may really like this person for who they are, but you may not be, you know, too sure that you really want to be with this person for the rest of your life, okay? For others of you, you're still getting over an emotional trauma from your past, and it may be affecting your commitment with this person, okay? So maybe you were in a, you know, physically abusive relationship or a toxic, you know, home life in your past, and you are now with this person, and maybe you still have a little bit of PTSD from your past connections or your past trauma, all right? So with the Ace of Wands, I do see a desire for those of you that resonated with, needing to get rid of baggage from your past. All right, and with that, the 10 of Wands card came up in the reverse, and the 9 of Swords card came up in the reverse. So for those of you who resonate with wanting to stay in this relationship, but struggling with trauma from your past, maybe you argue with this person for no reason because of the fact that you are getting over trust issues, emotional issues, stress, the fear of things not going right. I do see a need for you to stop obsessing with this relationship, because I feel like a lot of you think too much. You worry too much about things going wrong, about not being able to keep things together, about this person maybe dumping you out of the blue, about, you're a very mentally oriented person. You're emotional, but you think a lot, okay? Some of you may have anxiety, or you may have racing thoughts, okay? Or even obsessive thoughts about like losing what's important to you. So I feel like either in this lifetime or in a past life, you really had a problem, trauma around loss, around having to let go of people or things that you loved. So some of you may need to do some past life work, might need to focus on learning more about yourself, about your past lives, because I feel like for some of you, you could have a tendency to obsess over things, to obsess over, over people, and it could push them away, all right? And that could be what's happening in this connection for some of you, all right? For others of you, if you don't resonate with that, then, it could be that you rushed into this relationship and you're seeing that this person, while you like them, it's almost as if you want to take a couple steps back, because you're not really sure that this commitment was exactly what it is that you wanted. And now that you're with this person, now that you've committed, now that you have more of a clear head and you're settled down with this individual, you're not quite sure that it was the right decision, okay? You're not sure whether you should have, if you did leave someone else, if you should have left that person, or whether you're not sure, whether you're not sure if you should have started the relationship so soon to begin with. And I'm not really seeing, I feel like for my pile twos, the struggle is mainly with you, okay? It's like it's an internal struggle, all right? It's not so much that this person is doing anything crazy or that they're not a good person. It's a compatibility issue, or it's an internal struggle issue here with you, all right? So let's see what's going on for my pile twos. I am seeing that you guys are going to need to make a transformation here, all right? You guys are going to need to take a leap into making an inward transformation. So with the Page of Swords here and the Page of Pentacles here, both in the reverse, all right? I feel like for a lot of you, you may be holding on to this person for your stability, for your peace of mind, all right? Some of you, you're going to come to the realization that you went from, you may end up going back to the person that you left this person for. All right, so some of you may realize that the grass is not always greener, and that you rushed into this commitment in order to escape the problems that you needed to deal with the first person. All right, and you're gonna have a hard time walking away, because there may be guilt associated with that. You may feel very guilty, and this person could have a lot of hurt feelings. So you're anticipating what might come. All right, you're nervous about the consequences of your actions here, but the universe is reassuring you with the Devil card in reverse that this will be the correct action to take, because if you stay in this relationship knowing that this person isn't right for you, okay? Whether it's because you were with someone before or because you jumped into the relationship, okay, whatever your situation may be. If you stay in this relationship knowing that this person isn't right for you, if you stay in this relationship aware that this person, you know, isn't compatible with you, because with a lot of you it's a compatibility issue, then you're not only hurting this person and inhibiting them from finding the person who is compatible with them, but you're also hurting yourself and being unfair to you, staying in a relationship that is not serving you, okay? And again, I really don't feel like it's any hard feelings between you and this person, but you know, there was just a lot that you didn't know about this person, you know, when you first started this relationship, that you know, weren't aware of, probably because this relationship happened so fast. For others of you here, you know, you may find when it comes to this individual with the Ace of Wands card here, for those of you who are having a lot of internal struggles, a lot of trust issues, you're going to need to own up that, you know, and have a conversation with this person that you're aware that the struggle is within you and not with them. Because this person is taking a toll on your connection, is making this person feel like they're not good enough. This person is, you know, they could be a very empathetic person, okay? They could be a person who's naturally very emotional, very intuitive, very psychic. They could even be a healer type, okay? And they could be really being dragged down. Not that they don't love you, but they may be feeling dragged down and internalizing a lot of these problems with the Page of Cups card here in the reverse, okay? They could be feeling like a lot of it is their fault, or as if you feel like your emotions are their fault, and it could be causing them to distance themselves here, because I'm seeing with the King of Swords card, if you guys haven't been speaking, if this person's gotten quiet, if they've gotten a lot more emotionally distant, if they're not as affectionate towards you as what they used to be, okay, it could very well be because of the fact that they feel blamed for everything, especially if you're dating a very introverted person or a very sensitive person here. All right. So with the King of Swords, no matter, you know, what your situation is, no matter what situation resonates with you, there needs to be a conversation between you and this person, all right? And it may not be a very comfortable conversation, because it's going to be one with the Empress in reverse, where you need to be vulnerable, where you need to be open about your feelings, about what you think, about what you truly feel. And you're being called to step up to the plate, kind of almost in a leadership position here, where you're going to be holding yourself responsible for your feelings, your emotions, what you know, your actions that you've taken. If you said anything hurtful to this person, this would be the time to apologize, all right? And to really tell this person the direction that you want this relationship to take, whether it's that you feel like you need to end this connection and go in a new direction, or whether it's that you feel like you need to heal and, you know, take ownership of those areas in this connection where you may have fallen short, all right? For some of you, you know, the reason why you're having trouble in this connection with the Four of Pentacles in reverse is because you have a lot of trauma that you need to heal from, and it's making you and possibly this other person feel as if that either one of you is not enough. So as you have this conversation with this person, as you, you know, talk to this person about your feelings, your emotions, if this is a connection that you want to keep, that you want to continue, it's going to bring you guys together a lot more so emotionally, all right? I'm seeing here with the Six of Swords card that one of you or both of you may decide not to leave this connection. So for those of you who have to work out a lot of differences, you may be concerned that it may heat up and turn into a huge argument, and that there may be differences that are irreparable. So if you are in this connection and you feel like this is the right connection for you and you're worried about your partner leaving you, know that this person loves you, know that they're very dedicated to you, and that they are not going to want to leave you after you have this conversation. This conversation is going to bring you guys closer, okay? It's not going to tear you guys further apart. So that's just reassurance from the universe that, you know, if this is something you want to maintain, you are going to be able to grow in this connection as you know, conquer these hurdles, as you go through and talk to this person. That's not going to be an issue at all. All right, for others of you, as you talk to this person, if you are thinking about, you know, parting ways, this person may resist, okay? This person may not see where there's a lack of compatibility here. And so you may have to be very blunt with them about how you feel. You know, this is a situation where the universe would urge you not to hold back, okay? Don't hold your tongue. Don't try to sugarcoat things, because in doing so, even though it may feel like that the truth would hurt more than a lie, you know, at this point, it's really important that you're very honest with them, because the truth is actually going to set them free, okay? It's going to help them to understand why certain things aren't working, and by going your separate ways, it's going to free them, especially if you do care about this person. You know, if you feel they need to go your separate ways, if you feel as though that you're incompatible, if you feel like this just isn't working and you need to be with someone else, or you need to be in a different space, then letting this person go is actually a language of love, because it's allowing them to find someone who is compatible with them, who can, you know, work through those differences in their connection, who might be better suited to living with them, or whatever difference there might be within your connection, that they can find something that's better suited, and you as well. All right. So with the World card here in the reverse, I feel like you may feel very caged in by this relationship. Okay, maybe this person's very possessive. Okay, so that might be something that you guys need to talk about as well. With the Hermit card, I'm also seeing that this person they could be a Virgo, or they could be someone who tends to isolate themselves when they get mad. They could tend to, you know, kind of detach from you a little bit as tensions happen within the relationship, as difficulties occur. They could be one to, you know, not say how they feel, to not speak their opinion, okay, to remove themselves from the situation. And it could be that, you know, one of you is a fire starter, is somebody who tends to turn the heat on, is somebody that tends to cause, you know, dramatic situations or be very emotional, and the other person removes himself, okay? So this could either be the reason why this isn't working. This could be the incompatibility in the relationship, or for others of you, you know, this could be something that needs to be talked about, okay? Ways that you resolve conflict, so that you can, if you're wanting to maintain this relationship, so that you can find ways of communicating, so that you can be aware of your patterns, so that you can find some middle ground where you can talk, where you can communicate without stepping on the toes of or violating the boundaries of the other person. All right, when you're having difficulties, when you're going through certain things here. I feel like for a lot of you, you can't make up your mind whether you want to stay or go. So let's see what Spirit has for you here. It's almost as if you're like, you care about this person, and for those of you who did possibly leave someone else for or leave this person for someone else, you may be feeling like, you know, this person's an adventurous person, or they're a vacation from the worries of the other relationship, and you're really not sure whether you want to throw yourself back into your past, where the relationship might have been more emotionally heavy, where the relationship may have felt more like a responsibility. For others of you, if that does not resonate with you, or if that's not your situation, you may feel as if, you know, you want to see where this can go, or you may be the type of person who's very optimistic, okay? And despite the odds, despite the difficulties, you want this to work, okay? You wear your heart on your sleeve, or you're the type of person that when you go for something, you want to go for the goals. You want to see the best possible outcome. okay? You like to make the best happen. So let's see what else your cards have to say. So I'm seeing that for a lot of you, either this relationship hasn't gone in the direction that you want, or this person is just, they're not all that you have wanted, okay, in a relationship. For some of you, honestly, it seems as if you're settling and you feel like you're settling, all right? That's for a lot of you. That's for most of you, actually, okay? For a small percentage of you, okay, if that does not resonate, for some of you, the reason why, and I'm not going to, I don't usually jump in cards, I usually do them in order, but for those of you who that does not resonate with the other message, if you don't feel like you're settling, then this card is going to make a lot more sense for you, because the reason why you may be feeling a lot of dissatisfaction here with the Empress card in the reverse is because you feel disempowered, okay? You feel as if you're not pursuing your goals, or you may feel just disempowered within the relationship. For those of you that feel disempowered, you want to look to your past connections, to your past even childhood, family wounds, things of that nature, because for you, you could carry a lot of energy with you of feeling disempowered in situations, okay? You could tend to have a victim mentality sometimes, or you could tend to, you know, feel like when things aren't going right in a relationship and a connection, you could have a reflex of jumping to feeling hurt without thinking about the part that you played in it, as well as the part that the other person played in it, and being able to communicate. So your first reflex, you know, when you're having problems with your partner, when you're not seeing eye to eye, could be to internalize that pain instead of being proactive and trying to find a solution, okay? And if that resonates with you, if you do often feel you know, wronged or hurt, or you take things personally when someone does something, the universe wants you to think about kind of getting out of your feelings when it comes to conflicts in a relationship, okay? Not taking things so personally, and realizing that when someone does something, a lot of the time it's because of things that they're going through, their own thought process. It's not necessarily because they want to hurt you. It's not necessarily that they're doing it to have a negative impact on you, because I'm seeing that for a lot of you, the reason why you're having conflicts in this relationship, especially if this is a relationship that you want to keep, that you want to see go forward, if you don't feel like you're settling, if this is someone that you truly care about and you want to see a future with them, you want to work through things, the reason why you're having these difficulties is because of the fact that you need to get a little bit more into an assertive energy, into speaking up, you know, and actually talking to this person about problem solving, instead of jumping into being emotional and emotional reactivity. So a lot of you guys may struggle a little bit with that, with being emotionally reactive and not quite thinking about the other person's side. So the universe really wants you could be a Taurus placement, you could be an Aries placement, but for you guys, it's really important that you jump into a proactive problem-solving energy, okay? The universe wants you to be a little bit more unbiased, all right? A little bit less focused on just your own feelings, and to actually focus on how the other person feels too. And when you feel, you know, hurt by something that this person may have done, when you take things personally, take a step back to think about what that person may have been thinking, may have been feeling, and try to step into their shoes, because you guys might be so passionate that sometimes you may forget to empathize with that other person, all right? And that might lead to a lot of heated, passionate arguments. That could lead to a lot of back and forth. That could be spent, that energy could be spent in learning about your partner, learning about the way they see the world, learning about the way that they communicate, the way that they think, and learning to, you know, communicate better as a unit, as one, as, you know, together, instead of taking time to worry about or to think about how that person hurt you and assuming that they meant to. All right, because I feel like for a lot of you guys, you know, if you want to keep this person in your life, a lot of you are with someone who is a helper, who means well, but maybe this could be one of your, or both of your, like, one of your first relationships. So you could be someone who hasn't been in a lot of relationships. Maybe both of you aren't that experienced when it comes to connections. So you're still learning how to communicate. You're still learning how to, how to express your feelings with one another. And I feel like for a lot of you, you might have a hard time explaining how you feel, okay? You might have a hard time expressing your feelings, one or both of you. And it might have to just do with the fact that you guys might be either really young, or this could be one of your first true committed serious relationships. And so this is a life skill that you have to build together, all right? For others of you, I'm going to go back to the other cards that I drew, because I feel like for some of you, you may know this isn't working, okay? For those of you who do feel like you're settling and you're having a very hard time walking away, because maybe this was, the Queen of Pentacles card here in the reverse. This could have been your decision to start the relationship, or you could have started this relationship because you needed some form of material security. So maybe you needed a place to stay. Maybe you needed emotional security with this Ace of Cups in the upright. And this person was very supportive to you. But what you're doing, whether you want to go back to somebody that you had in your past, whether, for whatever reason, if this relationship isn't working and you're staying with this person because of the things they can provide or do, you're taking yourself, going back to the Empress card again, you're depriving yourself of the opportunity to become this Empress that you have the potential to be, all right? This provider, this strong, independent person. Whether you're a male or a female, it really doesn't matter, because the Empress is an energy of self-sufficiency, of abundance, of being able to have your own, okay, of being able to nurture yourself. If you're with someone who has a feminine energy, or if you're a masculine person, okay, you may need to learn how to mother yourself, how to nurture yourself, how to build yourself up and also support yourself emotionally, all right? And by relying on this person to do so, knowing that you don't see a future with them, or knowing that maybe this person isn't right for you, it's keeping you from becoming that for yourself, of learning how to rely on yourself. And it's also draining this person, all right? So with the Queen of Cups here also in the reverse, I'm sensing that, somebody in this connection feels drained. So it's either you or them. It could be both, all right? Where you feel like a lot of the differences in this relationship are keeping you from putting your creative energy, your psychic energy, your emotional energy into other things, okay? One or more of you could have kids, all right? And so you spend so much time worrying about the differences in this relationship that it takes away from the time you have to raise them or to spend with them. For others of you with the Cups card in the reverse, by the time you're done dealing with all of the complications that this relationship has brought on, you have very little energy to nurture yourself, to be there for you, okay? Because you're so busy, if not giving to this other person, just worrying about the relationship. All right, if that doesn't resonate for you, for a lot of you guys also, the lesson that you're learning in this connection is to mature emotionally. So for one or both of you in this relationship, this is where your weakness is. This is where where the universe wants you to grow. And this person, more than likely a karmic connection for a lot of you, especially if you're thinking about separating, going your own way. The relationship was brought into your life to help you to build emotional maturity, emotional stability, and to learn what you need emotionally, not just in a connection, but also for yourself, okay? How do you need to feel loved, okay? Or what makes you feel loved? Do you need to feel listened to? Is that what's the most important thing for you? Is it that you need to have, responsibilities shared between you, that you need to share housework? Is it that you need to, have a plan written down for goals for both of you? Because for a lot of you, I would say most of you, this is a relationship where you may have found that you're not really that compatible, okay? So if you found that within this relationship, The reason why the universe brought this relationship to you is so that you could realize what doesn't work for you, so that you can then manifest later into your life those things that will work, that do work for you, okay? So for the Queen of Cups card, it represents Pahalia, all right, God the Redeemer. You see the halo on this angel figure. Redemption, serves against enemies of religion, governs chastity. So for some of you, after this relationship, you may feel a calling to be abstinent or to abstain from sex for a little bit, to connect with the universe, to connect with self, and to not focus on, trying to jump to another person to rebound in order to regain your sense of balance. All right, the universe, for a lot of you, guys may be Libras, you could be Virgos because of the Hermit card here. But the universe wants you to focus on self and on balance within self after this relationship. For others of you, if you're planning on improving this relationship, all right, with this card, Pahalia here, you may want to take time not to be so physically involved with your partner and to actually instead get more emotionally connected. For some of you, what's missing in this relationship where it's not working is that maybe spiritually you guys aren't, on the same page. You might want to meditate together, or you might want to, get more emotionally connected, spend time together, all right? Because that's the element that may be missing from this connection. You might even want to spend time in water or by water together as well. All right, so I'm going to pull the card at the bottom of the deck as your last card here. And this card is the Ten of Cups in the reverse, okay? So for those of you who have decided that you no longer want to participate in this relationship, you may be wondering what went wrong, okay? Why isn't this working? It seemed great at the beginning, and then when we got together, it just stopped working. All right, so this has to do with emotional compatibility. All right, there is a lack of emotional connectedness here. So you guys may have very different love languages. You might have, a different way of communicating where it does not emotionally fulfill or connect to the other person. For those of you who do want to stay in this relationship, as I was explaining before, my people, my pile twos, who are very passionate, very impulsive, maybe you jumped into this relationship and you realized certain things weren't working, but you still want to be with this person. Or maybe you're very triggered by this relationship, all right? And you still want to be with this person, but you have some things to work through. Spirit is saying focus on, some of you may have had issues in your childhood trauma where you felt emotionally neglected, all right? So you may accuse this person of things, or feel emotionally abandoned, or have felt emotionally abandoned in your past. And so you may try to make up for that by wanting extra attention from your partner, okay? Fearing that they may leave you because you don't want to be emotionally abandoned, worrying that things may happen, having obsessive thoughts, thinking about things that could go wrong because you fear that feeling of emotional abandonment, all right? So that might be something for you guys to think about, to, research for yourselves, to look at healing further, to make this relationship stronger. And for others of you guys, the reason why things are not working in this relationship is because of the fact that you guys need to emotionally bond. You guys might be, both needing to work on your own inner emotional stability and on connecting with each other. Because I feel like for a lot of you guys, that do want to stay together, one thing that you guys need to both grow on is your own sense of emotional intelligence, all right, of your own emotional awareness. And you may both, not be very experienced at expressing your feelings, at expressing your emotions. So when you try to connect with each other, it's frustrating, all right, especially if you've been arguing because of the fact that if you don't know emotionally what you need, or you're not, you're not aware of how to support that other person, it just feels like clashing all the time, just clashing. And it's not that you don't care about each other, it's not that there's no love there, it's that you need to work on that emotional bond and on expressing those emotions in this connection, okay? And being emotionally vulnerable. Some of you might have problems, or both of you in this connection could have difficulty being emotionally vulnerable, all right? So the Ten of Cups is represented by the angel Heliel, okay? And it has to do with the energy of God, master of the universe, okay? So this has to do with a new level of mastery for you guys. And mastery does, some of you may be Capricorn placements, or you could be going through your Saturn return. So congratulations if you're going through your Saturn return here. But master of the universe, anything having to do with mastery, some of you guys may be 22, you could be 33. Mastery has to do with maturity. So you guys are being called to a new level of maturity within your life, okay? And even if this isn't a long-term connection, if you guys decide to go your separate ways, this connection entered your life so that you can learn how to master that area of your emotions, of emotional intelligence, how to fill your emotional needs, or to have your emotional needs fulfilled in a relationship, okay? So if you have decided that this connection is not for you, then part of the reason why I came into your life is because you are here to fulfill the energy of, or to master, understanding what works for you emotionally, what emotionally fills you, and to understand what does not, okay? To know yourself better, okay? To know that area of who you are to a fuller level, and to know how to meet your own needs. So the angel Heliel, okay, is a divine warrior. She confounds the wicked, and she brings victory and peace. So if you are not feeling like your house, especially, your living space, if you live with this person, or if the drama has just overtaken the space, the energy of the space, you might want to sage, open some windows, okay? Get some sea salt water, spray it around, your living space, and you just get that negative energy out, okay? But there's going to be, if you stay in alignment with the universe, if you focus on, bringing that emotional awareness, that emotional connectedness into the relationship and improving it, or if you need to go in your separate ways, okay, whatever is alignment for you, whatever the universe is, calling you to do, you're going to feel a sense of peace, okay, a sense of success after you do that. And as you start to feel those feelings of peace, that feeling of success, okay, that feeling of triumph, all right, of victory, you're going to know that you're on the right path, that you're in alignment with the universe. All right, so a lot of you might have some hurdles to climb in this situation, whether it's leaving this connection and going on to the next level of your path, whether it's building, this connection and working through things. It's going to take some alpha energy. It's going to take some warrior energy, all right? It may not be all solved within one conversation, okay? You're going to have to really, be a team with your partner, fight through this, fight through those difficulties, be patient with one another. And for those of you who have decided to part ways, whether that's, to be in a different connection, or whether that's to, be in pursuit of whatever it is you need to do by yourself, know that you're going to need to stand your ground, okay? Know that you're going to need to be very, firm in how you feel when you communicate this to this person. They might not be happy about the news. They might try to fight you on what it is that you want to do. You might have to be very strong within yourself and your sense of self as you make your way towards your next step in your path, all right? But just know that what you need to embrace, the energy that you need to embrace in order to make these steps towards what the universe wants you to do in your life, is that you need to be very determined, Okay, you need to be able to fulfill your own emotional needs first. Okay, and you need to really focus on strengthening your sense of self, on focusing, on who you are as an individual and what you need, and providing that for yourself. And then as you come to a deeper understanding of who you are, also communicating your needs to your partner so they never feel as if they're the only person trying to fulfill your emotional needs. All right, if you want to take a walk, you don't have to wait for your partner to go take a walk. You can take a walk yourself. If they're busy, you can come back to them and then connect with them and find other ways to make that emotional connection happen. Okay, but make sure that you're fulfilling your own needs, that you're filling your own cup before you go to someone else and look to them to fulfill those things for you. All right, so make sure you're filling up your own cup, that you're having that healthy connection with self, and then when your cup is full, then pouring into the relationship. So pile 2, that is my reading for you. Again, a lot of this for my pile 2s does boil down to making sure that you love yourself, that you have that self-love, that you have a practice of self-love within yourself, and then from that, then going again and exchanging that energy with your partner, making sure that you have a practice of self-love. And also, after you have fulfilled, your own needs, then going to connect with the person that you're with. Okay, for some of you who may have gone from one relationship to the next, you may have done that because you're looking for things that only you can provide within yourself. So make sure that you are loving yourself, taking care of your own needs. And it's funny because a lot of people feel like when people say love yourself, we say that a lot in the spiritual community, that it's a very vague thing to say, that, like loving yourself, what does that mean? And for a lot of people, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you're happy. Do things that make you happy. That's where you can start. For a lot of people, it's not really as complicated as what it sounds, okay? Do things that make you feel happy, that make you feel content in life, that make you feel fulfilled, that make you feel as if you are on the path to your life's purpose, okay? If you know what you're supposed to be doing, if you know what your calling is in life, what you love to do, what you're driven to do, then go do more of that, all right? If you don't, then go explore those things that make you enjoy life, that make you happy, all right? And as you do that, then the universe is going to reveal what it is that your calling is, that your purpose is, what it is that you want to do, all right? And that's going to help you to learn more about yourself and who you are. So pile 2, that is your reading. If you're interested in getting a more in-depth reading from me, make sure that you do check out my website, Victoria's Dream Shop. Also make sure that you're following me on Twitter and on Instagram, where I have lots of different readings for you as well as esoteric knowledge, spiritual knowledge, and also information on the different transits throughout the month. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Alright, so my pile 1, I'm going to start with your first 3 cards. So your first card here is the Wheel of Fortune. So you guys may be very optimistic people. I feel like a lot of you have a sense of innocence, a sense of maybe even naivety in your personality, but I feel like a lot of you have very strong, energetic, angelic energy to you, okay? And especially with the Archangel Metatron coming out in your reading here, okay? Archangel Metatron is the archangel of connecting to the divine. So you guys may even channel messages, you guys may have epiphanies a lot in your own life. Maybe you feel connected to the Pleiadians, okay? The Pleiades star system. And for a lot of you as well, you may feel very connected. Your strongest chakra may be your crown chakra, okay? And the crown chakra has to do with spirituality, has to do with being connected to God, feeling very connected to the universe, connected to the divine. This is the chakra that allows us to feel as if we are one with the universe, as if our prayers are answered, as if you know, the universe hears us when we communicate with it. So you may feel very connected to the spirit realm, very connected to the universe, very connected to spirit. And if you do feel this way, then for a lot of you, you may attract a lot of people that need healing, because more than likely you're a healer, okay? So your aura may be purple or lavender. Your aura may be very light, very bright as well. You may have a lot of light around you. And, you know, for those of you who connect to that, if you have a lot of light around you, you may attract a lot of narcissists. You may attract a lot of toxicity, because these people, naturally, they carry a lot of shadow energy with them, a lot of dark energy with them, and they naturally want to attach themselves or connect to people who have that light worker energy, because it makes them feel clean, it makes them feel whole, it makes them feel healed. Okay, so I feel like for a lot of you, this is my healer pile. Okay, so the Four of Cups is the next card in your spread, and this lets me know that there's been a lot of disappointment in this relationship. So you may have felt, you know, with this person that you were disappointed with this connection. Maybe this person portrayed themselves at first to be somebody who you later realize that they're not. Okay, maybe this person portrayed themselves to be someone who had a lot of money, or, you know, that there was an energy of financial gain around them. Maybe they portrayed themselves to be someone who was very driven or very creative, very ambitious, okay? And maybe after they got with you, you realize that they were not completely truthful, or that they only portrayed that image in order to get you, okay? So you may be dealing with a very immature energy here, and the type of person who likes to get the girl or get the guy, who likes to pursue, likes to chase, but then when it's time to actually settle down and have a mature relationship, they're just, you know, they weren't ready, okay? So for a lot of you as well, for my pile ones here, you may be a very mature person, okay? You may be the type of person that you're, you know, very wise naturally. You're, you know, you also are very compassionate. So with this Four of Cups card, it represents the angel in this deck. This is the Angel Tarot deck. It's a very beautiful deck. I would definitely recommend getting it if you are interested. All right. I'm not a promoter for the deck or anything like that, but it's a really beautiful deck. So this is the angel deck, and every card in here is represented by an angel. So this card represents Mahelo, or Melahel, which is God deflecting evil. Okay, so some of you may have seen this person, and this card is crazy because, you know what, I didn't even read the definition of this card when I was talking about the energy that you guys have, but this card does say healing capacity. Okay, protection from weapons, safety, and travel. So maybe some of you met this person when you were traveling. And again, you know, it says healing capacity. So a lot of you, maybe you want to be a doctor, you might be, you know, in the medical field, you may be a doctor, you may be a nurse. But a lot of you, again, this is just reiterating the fact that this is my healer pile here, all right? So, you know, a lot of you may have met this person, you may have gotten with this person, and you may have felt like you needed to help them in some way. Some of you may have even felt like you needed to fix them, okay? So you or they may have strong Virgo placements, strong Cancer placements, strong 8th house placements, okay? Or even for some of you, strong 11th house or Aquarius placements as well, all right? Maybe you met this person when one of you was depressed. Maybe one of you were, you know, down in the dumps, and the other one kind of lifted that person up, okay? And that the person who did the lifting was more than likely you, okay? So you may have felt as though you could help this person get through a hard time, or maybe they needed advice from you. And I'm really sensing that for a lot of you, this person admired you, okay? They saw your beauty, they saw your gentleness. A lot of you have a very gentle energy about you as well. And they may have felt as though, you know, that they may have felt as though that they felt better when they were around you, okay? Your cards are just flying out. Like, I'm not even trying to pull cards at this point. So your next card is the Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups here, of course, represents a deep emotional connection. This is definitely a karmic, if not a soulmate connection for a lot of you. For some of you, you may have even known this person in a past life. So you definitely feel a deep connection with this person. Okay, and if you have at any point contemplated leaving this relationship, it was probably very difficult for you to do that, okay, or to even think about it, or to bring yourself to do that, even if this has been toxic in any way, even if this person has brought you down or cost you money. Maybe some of you, I'm getting the impression that a lot of you may be, supporting this person in some way. So if this person doesn't live with you, maybe some of you may be paying for this person's school or education, or helping them with something, or helping them with a child, or helping them do something here. So the angel represented in this card is Leua, and it's swiftly hearkening God. Fruition provides expansive intelligence and gives the grace of God. All right, so some of you may have had to forgive this person for something that they did. All right, maybe you caught them flirting on IG or something of that nature. Maybe this person has an anger problem, especially because this is a water, it's a Two of Cups, so this is a water card. Okay, this card you could be dealing with a water sign, but there are a lot of heavy emotions with this card here present. So a lot of you could have forgiven this person. Maybe they get really emotional. Maybe they have trauma from their past that makes them lash out. But for a lot of you, you may even be afraid of this person's anger, okay, afraid of how they react. And that might be an issue in the connection. So I'm seeing, this card represents my pile 1 people here. And this is a 9 of Pentacles, all right? So what you're really looking for, especially out of this reading, is to know what Spirit wants you to do. I feel like you guys are amazingly centered. You guys really are very connected with the universe, and you come at your relationships and even with guidance when it comes to this relationship in a really mature way. Okay, you don't really care whether my reading were to say that you should leave this relationship, if you should stay in it, because you really are so committed, even more than you are to the relationship itself, to the universe, to your path, to doing what it is that the universe wants you to do. Okay, you really are committed to staying in alignment with the universe, with your path, with who the universe wants you to become. All right, and I feel like, especially with the 9 of Pentacles card here, that you guys are super ambitious. All right, you guys have goals, you guys are very independent, and I feel as though this is also something that drew this person to you, because they may be the opposite. Okay, this person might be really emotional. This person may be someone who you can connect with in an emotional fashion, and for a lot of you, this person might be somebody who you have a lot of fun with, but they lack discipline. All right, and that's where you come in. That's where your strengths come in, because you have that discipline, you have that drive, you have that that go-getter type mentality that keeps this person together. But for a lot of you, it's as if you're playing a parent role in this relationship, and that's what's making it not work. Okay, for those of you, if it's not that extreme, some of you may feel as though this person is more emotional than they are logical. Okay, so you end up having to kind of help them pull things together, and you just really want them to have their life together a little bit more. All right, you want them to have their stuff together. Like you don't want to have to look after them, because it's almost feeling to a point like a big brother, big sister relationship, or if it's the same gender relationship, it's feeling as though you're the parent, or you're the one who has to look after them or babysit them a little bit, and they need to mature in order to maintain the the connection in a healthy way. All right, so let's see what messages Spirit has for you guys. All right, so the first card that you guys have here is the Fool. All right, now this is actually not a bad card, because it signifies you starting a new chapter. All right, so what I'm seeing here, first, of course, it's obvious this looks like Cupid. All right, now this is actually representing the angel Yahuwah, all right, which is will and new beginnings, assists with difficult and great undertakings. And with the new moon or the full moon in Virgo just passing, all right, this has to do with you being ready for a new start. So for some of you, that new start with the full moon in Virgo, I keep saying new moon, and that is a sign also for you guys that for some of you guys, you need to release. Okay, for some of you, this does mean possibly taking a break from this relationship, okay, and focusing on self. And that doesn't mean that you can't come back to this relationship when this person has matured. But for some of you, you need to start a new chapter. Some of you have been thinking about traveling. Some of you have been thinking about going off on your own and doing things that you know you won't be able to do with this person, because this person, for a lot of you, has been a handful. Like for a lot of you, this person has been a whole job, and it's not like a relationship. It's as if you're looking after a child. And you know, it could be in a past life that this person was your child. Okay, it could be that, you know, you are breaking a karmic pattern in your own life of looking after other people and supporting other people and not yourself. So some of you be working through the pattern of codependency in your life as well. All right, but with the Fool card here, especially with this saying assists with difficult undertakings. All right, some of you, it's going to be difficult for you to tear yourself away from this person, to take a break. And that doesn't mean, when I say take a break, that you guys are not going to meet back up in the future. It doesn't mean that this is the end of this connection. But sometimes, even if you have to just do a long distance connection with this individual, sometimes it's better when we take time for ourselves. Sometimes it's better when we take time to get ourselves together. And then we can come back to the person that we love and love them on an even deeper level than if we were to try to neglect ourselves, neglect our needs, neglect our purpose, or what it is that the universe wants us to do is, you know, pulling us towards, in order to focus on someone else. Because a lot of times when that's done, what ends up happening is that both people feel neglected, okay? That other person is going to feel like you're distracted or like you're not fully there, because you're not fully there in spirit. Your spirit is calling you somewhere else, all right? And you're going to feel a sense of resentment, you know, if you don't go to pursue those things that you know spirit is calling you to pursue. Okay, so why blame that person for holding you back when it's really yourself holding you back? All right, so for a lot of you, it may be time to take some time away from this person. Now, for some of you, you know, it depends on the level of toxicity in this relationship. It depends on the message that spirit is calling for you. Again, this is a pick a card reading, so it's a very general message for anybody who picked this pile. For others of you, you may not need to leave this person, okay? It could be that things are getting really intense, really emotional, and you guys both need time to focus on your own priorities, okay? So if that resonates more with you, then you may need to settle down with your partner, have a talk with them one-to-one, and really just explain to them that you need to distance yourself a little bit so that you can focus on your own goals. Okay, if you live together, that doesn't mean you have to move apart. You know, of course, if this is an abusive relationship, you know, I'm not referring to that. You know, I don't condone abuse in any way. But at the end of the day, if you guys are, you know, a little bit too close, you know, sometimes in relationships when we're together, especially if you guys live together, sometimes you get to the point where you get too preoccupied with the connection. And for those of you that resonate with that, you know, if you have other goals that you need to focus on, it may be time to take a little bit of distance and to focus more on the goals that you have than on each other, all right? And that can sometimes alleviate the tension that you might be having in the relationship. Okay, so your next card here is the Two of Pentacles, and it's next to the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords, again, it represents, especially in this spread, it represents detachment, it represents leaving, it represents departing from the old in order to go on a new journey. So for those of you who have been feeling, you know, and I feel like for a lot of you, you've been fighting with this for a while. you've been dealing with this for a while of trying to figure out, should I stay, should I go? If you're feeling like you need to leave this relationship, then this is a sign that this is exactly what you need to do. You guys are already connected to the universe, so you're here in the universe, right? And you shouldn't ever be doubting your intuition, the signs that you're getting, because your intuition is very spot on. This is my intuitive pile. This is my pile that you get signs from the universe very easily, okay? You hear the voice of spirit almost effortlessly. And if you're feeling like you need to move in a new direction, then you need to move in a new direction, all right? So I feel like for a lot of you as well, you feel very pessimistic. You know, like maybe you feel responsible for this person. Maybe you feel like, you know, that this person might fail without you. And for a lot of you, maybe you come from a codependent background. Maybe you come from a background where, you know, you feel as if, you know, that you're used to supporting other people, okay? So especially with this card that just fell out for you guys, this is the Queen of Pentacles. So for a lot of you, you may be an earth sign, or you may just be a very stable person, somebody that's used to being the mom of your friend group, okay? Somebody that's used to being the bedrock, somebody who is the rock, okay? You guys would probably be great counselors if you aren't already. You guys would probably be amazing. You're just an amazing support. Like, you're the person that people call to when they're in a panic, all right? And, you know, for a lot of you, you know, you're hearing signs very, very clearly about what it is you need to do. Some of you are thinking about going back to school. For a small percentage of you, you might even be thinking about doing a doctorate program. And it's like, this person may not want you to do that, or this person may be holding you back, okay? So if that does resonate with you, just know that the universe is pushing you in the correct direction, and those signs, those nudgings, those, you know, that pulling feeling that you're feeling towards your next steps are exactly what you need to do. And whatever happens with this relationship, it'll be exactly what needs to happen, because what's for you will not pass you, okay? So if this person is right for you, they will be down for you. They will rock out with you while you know, finish the program, while you do what it is you need to do, whatever it is. For some of you, it could be starting a new job. It doesn't have to be, you know, higher education. It could be whatever new direction, moving to a new area, a new country, a new state, moving to a different house. Whatever that move is for you, it could be moving to a different job, okay? They will support you, and if they don't support you, then that is a sign that this may be time, for the time being, to close this chapter, and, you know, with this connection, and you can reopen it when you feel comfortable, when you feel like the time is right, you know, and it might be time for you to focus on something else for the time being. So I do also want to point out the Seven of Swords card, and it's in the reverse. So this is actually a really good thing, because I do sense that whatever, for a lot of you, okay, as long as this isn't super out of hand, you know, obviously if this is somebody who's been sabotaging your success, if there's been someone who has been, you know, that you're with, who has been not supportive of you, okay, and intentionally not supportive, you know, trying to be a distraction to your goals, this card in the reverse is signifying that whatever damage they've done, it's going to be reversed, okay? Whatever they were trying to block you from, they're not going to be successful in blocking you from that, all right? But for a lot of you, I feel as though that it was some sort of suspicion by either you or by your partner that somebody was cheating, okay? And this is a sign that this person was not cheating on you, okay? Or if you were accused of cheating, that, you know, you're going to be able to talk things through your partner, and they're going to, whatever question there was about trust, about somebody possibly lying, cheating, this is going to be something that was cleared up, that gets cleared up in the future. So for those of you who have been worried about that, just know that that's going to be cleared up, and that, you know, if there was something that you were suspected of doing that this person thought that you did, that they're going to regain their trust in you. But I do sense that there are a lot of trust issues in this relationship, that, you know, there's an issue overall with security. And a lot of it's coming from this person, not you. So this person could be a very insecure person. This person could be, could have a lot of trust issues from their past, because it really seems as though, with this individual, like they have a lot of baggage that they came into this connection with, okay? They had some things that either happened in their past or, in other relationships that has kept them from being able to be all that they could be in this connection. All right, so your next card here is the Eight of Pentacles, and it's in the upright. So whatever it is you've been working towards, this is signifying that, as you shift your focus, take a little bit of a break from being so intensely involved in this relationship, whatever that means for you, and really going in the direction of your goals, of your dreams here, that you're going to make a lot of progress. All right, this card represents the angel Lekebo, and intellectual knowledge, the pursuit of knowledge. All right, so for a lot of you, this has to do with going back to school or learning about your trade, whatever that is. For some of you, this could mean learning about each other and going through counseling as well. For a lot of you, what you need to do is to take a break and detach emotionally from this relationship a little bit, okay? Because I feel like there's been a lot of feelings involved. There may have been a lot of arguments, or you guys may have not been talking as well for a little bit, okay? You guys could have kind of gone into silent mode and shut each other out. And if that's the case, you guys need to detach from whatever toxic, intense, negative emotion there's been, whether it was suspicion about infidelity, whether it was, pointing the finger at each other, whether it was, going over and over in circles about the same thing. You guys need to detach from that. For some of you, that could mean that you take a break from focusing so much on the relationship. For some of you, that could mean going your separate ways, whether it's for a little bit or whether it's permanently. For others of you, it could mean that you take a nice date, okay? Alleviate that tension in the connection. Go to the park. Go out, get something to eat, okay? Take some time to not focus on your problems and watch how things shift. Watch how things move, okay? Especially with the moon in Libra right now, while I'm doing it, again, this is a timeless reading. You can watch it whenever, but I am doing this reading during the time that the moon is in Libra. So right now, this is the energy of detachment, of enjoying the little things in life. And this is actually an excellent time to think about your relationships. If you want to pursue this relationship further, this is a great time to just enjoy your connection, to not worry about the heavier things in life, and trust that the universe will sort itself out. The universe will shift energies in the direction that they're meant to go, okay? For those of you that are thinking about parting ways, this energy of the Libra moon is a great time to be able to detach emotionally and to think clearly about what it is you want to do, especially when it comes to relationships. So this is actually the perfect time. You guys are seeing this reading in divine timing when it comes to figuring out your relationship and what you want to do about it, okay? So I'm going to go to your next card. So your next card here is the Three of Wands. So a lot of you have been doubting the path that you've been on here, okay? And this is signifying, this is the universe validating that you have not been focusing on the best path for you. A lot of you have been stuck between two decisions, okay? So you may have been stuck on one end between, continuing the relationship or not continuing it. Going away to school, moving, whatever it is, or staying where you are, okay? And you feel pulled in the opposite direction to where you're currently, going, to what you're currently choosing. And this is a sign from the universe with the Three of Wands in the reverse, that not only have you been second guessing your intuition, but that you're actually called here, especially with the Fool card here, to shift gears and to choose that other path. All right, so for a lot of you, you've been really involved in this relationship. You've been not wanting to let go. You've been not wanting to let go of this person. And you might even feel like if you let go of this person, they're going to sink, okay? They're going to drown, that you have to keep them afloat. But the universe wants you to know that it's never your job to keep another person afloat, okay? If they're not your child, if they're not somebody who is dependent on you, you know, for their well-being. All right, if they're not somebody who is your dependent, you're not responsible for them. Okay, they're an adult. Okay, so you need to allow them, and if you keep them afloat, they're never going to learn how to swim on their own. Okay, so it's very important that you let that person go so they can learn how to fly. Okay, so they can learn how to swim, so they can learn how to survive. Because if they don't learn how to survive on their own, they're not going to build those muscles to be able to be on that same level with you, okay, to be on that same playing field with you. And then they're always going to be somebody who you have to carry, and that gets heavy after a while. All right, so that's not fair to you, that's not fair to them. Your next card here is the Ace of Pentacles. So you are going to encounter, after you let go, some of you are like, what is that card, what is that thing on it? So I'm just going to go ahead and read that, because that's going to distract y'all from hearing what I'm saying here. So this angel is Cathiel, all right, and this is the adored God. Divine blessings drives away evil spirit, rules agricultural production. Okay, so some of you may be very concerned about the environment. You may be interested in, keeping the environment, keeping the earth. For some of you, you might be earth angels as well. You might be very, involved. Some of you may be star seeds as well. This could very well be my star seed pile, because you guys are so super connected to the universe, to spirit. But you guys are very, also for a lot of you, you have a very open third eye. So you may have visions, you may have dreams. Some of you may have been dreaming about different solutions to this relationship. So if you did receive a sign in your dreams that, that is the correct thing for you to do as well. So, with the Ace of Pentacles card here, and, with this also being the card of, Cathiel, of evil spirits being driven away. Okay, when you do step in that right direction, you have all of the court cards here of the Pentacles. Okay, you have the Queen of Pentacles card here. You have the King of Pentacles card here, which I'm going to get to later. And you have the Ace. So you have nothing but stability and wealth in your future. If you are worried about your future, if you're worried about stability, if you're worried about finances, when you let go of this connection and you let the universe do its thing, you are going to, in return, receive the support that you've been giving to everybody else. Okay, so some of you have been that support for people, that foundation, maybe that older sibling, or that person that everybody goes to for guidance for a very long time. For some of you, all of your life. Some of you may have had a past life as a medicine woman or a medicine man, a shaman, a healer, a doctor, a nurse, a mother, a very, a father that was very involved with his family, okay, in a past life. Somebody who was the bedrock of the family, or you may be that now, all right? People rely on you. You may be a boss. You may have your own company for some of you. You may have a lot of people who rely on you. Well, when you let the universe do its thing in this relationship, when you let go, when you allow the universe to flow and do, whatever it wants to do within the energy of this relationship, and you focus on those things, those goals that you want, that you keep thinking about, that keep calling themselves to you, you are going to receive that support that you've been wanting, okay? So I said there was the King of Pentacles in your spread. It's actually the Knight of Pentacles in your spread here. So what's going to end up happening is this. As you let go, all right, you're going to be able to better support yourself. And then if you've been worried about income, you're going to receive an increase in income. That could be a raise, that could be getting a scholarship or a loan for any education that you might be trying to pursue. For others of you, that could mean that you get a better paying job, or for some of you also, when your significant other, when this person, whether this is a committed relationship or not, or just a romantic connection, for some of you it could be a friendship that's been budding into more also. when this person sees you pull back, they're going to understand what it is they need to do. This is going to be the message that they need, especially if you're dealing with a water sign, because they're so intuitive, because they're so, or a fire sign as well for some of you. Some of you might be dealing with a Sagittarius or a Leo. As you pull back, that person's going to intuitively understand that they need to be putting more into the relationship. And it's been you overcompensating, overdoing, not because you're a bad person, not because, not for you to feel guilty about that, but it's been your over effort that's made this person feel like they can sit back and allow you to do everything. So when you pull back, that person's then going to step in and become a part of that foundation. Now, for some of you, you might have to have a conversation about that, but I do see that for about half of you, that person's going to be stepping up to the plate. So this Knight of Pentacles is represented by Lelahel, okay, the angel Lelahel. Some of you may be dealing with the Pisces. So this angel is represented by the energy of light of understanding, acquires knowledge and cures illness, okay? So for some of you, if you are dealing with a person who has some sort of illness, they may find a need for balance at this time. Maybe they might go to the doctor and be put on a certain medication that balances things out. There may be, a physical imbalance within them as well, that they seek balance for. As they, as you pull back, as they stop using you as their remedy, as their medicine, they're going to find a need to heal themselves, and you're going to see a sense of balance in this person that you didn't see before. With other people, who may be watching this person's going to realize the things they haven't been doing. They're going to realize the fact that they need to pick up the slack here. For others of you, this is a completely different energy. Some of you may need to go, your separate ways with this person, and this is the energy of you allowing someone new into your life after a period of, maybe during the spring, the summer, or whenever you're watching this reading, a period of 2 seasons where you focus on yourself, where you're that support for yourself, where you learn more about life, about the world, about your craft or your trade or wherever it is that you do for a living, and you come to a greater understanding of yourself. And then I do see that there is a new person, possibly an earth or air sign, coming in for you. And as I said, air sign, I didn't even look at your last card, guys. This is the Ace of Swords, and of course the Swords cards represents air signs. So this could be an Aquarius, a Libra, probably around Libra season, or a Gemini coming into your life after this person leaves. So if you've had somebody on the back burner, if you've had an ex, for some of you, you specifically had an ex that you were, involved with, that it was very heavy or very serious, this person could be on their way back to you after this relationship is gone or done with, or if you feel like this is somebody that you want to move on from, if you feel like this is a relationship that's not going to work in the long term, I would encourage you to let go of that, because you definitely have someone new coming in, okay? For lots of you, this is a masculine, so it could be a lot of women watching this pile, or a lot of people who are attracted to the masculine, to masculine energy watching this pile here. All right, so this card is represented by Umabel, God above all names elevated. All right, so I'm going to just stop there, because for a lot of you, this relationship has really drained you. Okay, this energy has taken you down. You don't feel elevated by this relationship. For those of you who resonate with that, as you let go of this relationship, it might take a while. Okay, this may not happen till 3 seasons from now, till the end of the year, if you're watching this in March when I'm making this reading. But you are going to feel elevated, renewed after you let go of this relationship. So if you're honest with yourself and you feel pulled down by this relationship, if you feel drained, if you feel like this relationship is toxic, if it's not going anywhere, don't be afraid to just let it go, because there's something much, much better for you in your future. All right. So Umabel represents affinity and friendship. Obtain the friendship of anyone, okay? So some of you may have even felt isolated in this relationship. You may have felt lonelier is if you know you want to be more social. For those of you who aren't looking for another connection, or you're not trying to be with anybody else, you know, maybe you want to keep this relationship, or maybe you just want to be single. Maybe, you know, especially if you're an air sign or a fire sign, if you're just tired of feeling tied down from what you've been through, this energy is going to allow you to let the energy in of new people, of new situations, of being able to do you, if that's what you want to do, okay? Of being able to, whether that means meeting a new person who's going to be able to be there for you, or just being able to meet people who you can kick it with, that you can connect with, okay? And, you know, you're going to be able to make a lot of new friends, people who are soul family, people who you resonate with, especially if you're creative. I do see a lot of artistic people coming into your zone that you feel like you can just have a good time with after possibly being trapped in the house with this person, arguing all the time, okay? So that's going to be a really refreshing energy for a lot of you. For others of you, this is definitely, especially for those of you who are interested in a masculine or a very highly intellectual woman. I do see somebody coming into your sphere, okay, after a little bit of getting to know yourself, supporting yourself, coming back into that energy of self and supporting self. If you focus on yourself, all right, if you are thinking about, you know, leaving this connection, then I do see that there is a new person in your future, okay? And this person's going to be your equal. This person's going to be someone who's going to show you new things. You might end up traveling with this person, but you're going to feel elevated by this connection, all right? And whether this is a long-term connection or a short-term connection, this person is going to be brought into your life to show you what it is after a season of, you know, experiencing what you don't want so much in a relationship, to show you what it is that you can have, what you do want, what love can feel like, all right? So that is the end of your reading, my pile ones. I am going to pull the card at the bottom of the pile for you guys, just to see what the overall energy is for you. So this card came up in the reverse, and this is the Nine of Cups. So why are you going through all of this? All right, you may have sat up a lot of nights and wonder, why is this happening to me? All right, why am I going through this? Maybe for some of you, you may have even said to yourself, why do I pick people like this? For some of you, you may have even used the term losers. Why do I pick losers? Okay, so with the Nine of Cups, this has come to show you that you deserve better, that you can do better, all right? That you can emotionally support yourself, okay? So if you are staying with this person, okay, if this is someone that you feel like you can work with, okay, not all of you may be meant to break up. For those of you that you feel like you can work with this person, that you can be with this person, all right? This person has come into your life to show you where you are not emotionally supporting self, where you are not emotionally there for you, and where you need to, you know, be there more for yourself. That could be encouraging yourself to go more in the area of your dreams and ambitions, and not be so emotionally dependent on a relationship for your happiness, for your contentedness. For others of you, this could mean, you know, that this relationship came into your life to show you what you don't want, okay? What not being supported emotionally feels like. Or even for a lot of you, to show you where your childhood emotional wounds are. All right, this cup again, this card again represents healing, okay? So this is the angel Habuhia, God the kindest giver, okay? So for a lot of you, this connection came in your life to show you where you need to give to self. Because a lot of you are givers, you're healers. So you give to other people and they take, all right? And a lot of times when people do that to you, it shows you where you need to give to yourself, where you need to support yourself, but you're not giving to yourself. And a lot of times for healers, it's when people take from you that you realize what it is that you actually needed for yourself that you gave out to others. All right, so this card represents healing, preserves health, and cures diseases. So I really feel like for a lot of you guys, you may need to heal from codependency, all right? For a lot of you, you know, this relationship came into your life to show you areas of yourself, childhood wounds, karmic wounds that needed to be healed, okay? Or even the type of relationships that you don't want to attract any longer, so that you can close that karmic cycle within your life. Okay, and you guys are watching this after the full moon in Virgo, so the sign of Virgo is all about healing, self-awareness, showing us our weak spots so that we can make them strong, all right? And I do believe that if you guys stay in alignment with your purpose, with your path, that you're going to be so much stronger, that you're going to be happy that you came across these difficulties, because they're going to make you a stronger person, and they're going to allow you to shine your light even brighter, where you see, you know, when you see that you attract people that may dim your light, or circumstances that may dim your light, it helps you to be able to appreciate your light even more, and to be able to love yourself so that your light can shine even brighter, all right? So my pile ones, thank you so much for watching this reading. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Also, if you're not following me on Twitter, please follow me. I do have my handles below. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram handle is below as well. If you'd like to buy a personal reading from me, you can either email me, DM me on Twitter, where I have a list of my readings, or you can go to my shop, victoriasdreamshop.com, and go and purchase a reading there as well. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.